You're listening to Daily Horoscope for your zodiac sign with Stephanie Campos. I'm your host, Stephanie Campos, and I am a practicing astrologer, psychic medium, and witch. In each daily episode, I covered a detailed overview of the astrology of the day and what you can expect from full moons to Mercury retrogrades. I've got you covered. And of course, there is always a personalized horoscope for your zodiac sign. If you scroll down in the show notes, there are always timestamps included for your convenience. And a quick pro tip before we dive in, I do recommend listening to your horoscope based on your rising sign for more accuracy. And if you are loving this podcast, don't be shy, leave a rating. Hell, even a review. I'm a one human show and produce each and every episode every day just for you. And your support means so much. Now let's get into the astrology of the day. This is your daily horoscope for Tuesday, January 6th, 2026. All times are Pacific Standard Time. The action starts out around 5 a.m. when the moon in Leo forms a square with Uranus in Taurus. This is going to bring some sort of sudden surprise to our day, a shift of energy, a big emotional release, a revelation, insight, the encouragement to take a risk, or maybe you're having trouble sleeping and you just wake up early. I'm going to be honest. If you're like, why does her voice sound so depressed? It's because I am. I am recording these episodes early and I'm trying to get through these episodes early for a couple of reasons. The first is my sister is in the hospital and it's pretty serious, and I am just having a lot of trouble with that. She has double pneumonia and she has pancreatitis. She is also disabled and has a lot of issues with her lungs. Anyone who knows me knows that my sister is the light of my life, and I'm very, very close with her. And this isn't the first time that this has happened for her when she gets pneumonia. It's very serious. I can't tell you how many times she's been put on life support and how many times my family has been told we need to say goodbye. So yeah, I am struggling, and I'm going to get through your horoscopes. I love staying committed to this practice, and it does bring me joy and it's important to me. So I'm, going to be recording your horoscopes, but they're not going to have as much commentary on what's going on in the world. My emotional capacity and my focus is just a little off right now, and that's okay. So I'm going to strictly focus on the astrology for this batch of horoscopes that I'm recording. I'm recording them on December 23rd, but this is obviously the horoscope for the second week of January. So just a little insight there into what's going on in my personal life. Okay. Back to your horoscopes. So at 8:30 a.m., Venus in Capricorn is going to form a conjunction with the sun in Capricorn. This is taking place at 16 degrees. If you have any planets or placements around 16 degrees, you will be the main characters, especially of cardinal signs: Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. When Venus and the sun come together, it is called a kazimi, which is an Arabic word for in the heart of. This is a moment of rebirth and renewal. So there could be some sort of important Venusian development in your life, whether that has to do with an important relationship, a creative project, a contract, your personal values, or even finances. This can feel like a moment of illumination, an important development, an important decision regarding all of those topics in your life. And later on, around 9 a.m., the moon will enter Virgo. It is going to be void for most of the day. It doesn't make a connection with another planet until the early hours of tomorrow morning. So just keep in mind it might be a little harder for us to focus as the moon wanders aimlessly throughout the sky. It might also be just a little harder to focus. Aries, when the Sun and Venus come together in Capricorn, this is going to bring attention to your life direction, milestones, and even your professional life. There could also be some sort of major development with an important person in your life. Maybe you're ready to take the next step with a lover or even with a professional goal or a personal goal, but this can bring an important turning point regarding any major milestones that you're focused on. This could also look like a moment of celebration or recognition for your hard work, your effort. You are definitely standing out in your field, and this is a really gentle reminder to soak up the spotlight. Taurus, you might have a conversation or learn news that feels hopeful or inspiring when the Sun and Venus come together in Capricorn. This is also a wonderful time for taking a risk on some of your ideas, for making that decision to sign up for a class or go back to school, for having meaningful conversations in your relationships, telling someone how much you love them or appreciate them. You also have a little bit more tact and charm when it comes to what you choose to share with others. And this is a great day to express yourself and to focus on writing projects, speaking projects, and to share your expertise with others. You might gain some more attention or recognition for some of your unique gifts, skills, or talents. Gemini, when the Sun and Venus come together in Capricorn, this brings attention to your relationship with finances, resources, and even vulnerability. So in a practical sense, this could look like a new contract, negotiation process, or even learning about a new opportunity that can bring a deeper sense of financial security your way. This could also look like having important conversations with business partners, bosses, coworkers, or even lovers, roommates about financial expectations. Maybe there is some important conversation regarding taxes, inheritances, or important paperwork that you need to navigate with some people in your life. Emotionally, this can also spark you to have a deeper and more raw and vulnerable conversation with someone that has the potential to bring you closer together, or to recognize relationships that are imbalanced and gives you the courage to stand up for what you're worth and what you deserve. Cancer, when the Sun and Venus come together in Capricorn, this brings attention to your close one-on-one relationships. Maybe there is something going on in a roommate's life, a lover's life, maybe a family member or close friend. There could also be meaningful developments in your relationships. Maybe you're moving in with someone or taking the next step or signing a contract, or perhaps there's a collaborative opportunity. This is a great time to deepen and strengthen the important bonds in your life and to reevaluate the ways in which you show up in your relationships as well. This can also bring new client work, contracts, and opportunities your way. You just have a little bit more support available to you. Leo, when the Sun and Venus come together in Capricorn, this brings attention to your day-to-day life, routine, and schedule, and overall well-being. Perhaps you are ready to change a habit, or maybe you've changed a habit and you're feeling a little bit more successful with how you've integrated it. This could also be a moment that brings more support if your schedule has been overwhelming. Maybe there is a new solution or a change that pops up that brings a little bit more ease and flow. This could also look like gaining attention or recognition for some of your hard work and your effort. Maybe there's a new job opportunity. Maybe you are receiving praise or recognition for something that you've really committed yourself to, either professionally or in your personal life. Virgo, when the Sun and Venus come together in Capricorn, this brings attention to your relationship with creativity, passion, and romance and pleasure. So this could look like some sort of important development regarding a creative project, a passion project, something that excites you, that wakes up your inner child or your inner teen and makes them feel proud. This could look like a romantic development, maybe experimenting with your sex life or finding someone who you have an instant spark or connection with, or reigniting the spark with someone. And this is also all about your pleasure, your hobbies, what you enjoy. So focusing on doing things that bring you back into the present moment and make you feel grateful. If you have children or fur babies, this can also signify an important moment of development or milestone in their lives as well. Libra, when the Sun and Venus come together in Capricorn, this brings attention to your private life. Maybe there is some sort of positive development regarding your living situation or with a family member, or maybe there is some sort of wave of nostalgia that brings you back to past relationships, reflecting on old relationships with friends, family, and lovers. If you've been trying to break generational patterns and habits, this can bring a little bit more support and ease your way. This could also simply look like a lovely day at home where you're catching up on rest and hunkering down. Now, this could also be an important turning point regarding your living situation or with your chosen family members as well. Scorpio, when the Sun and Venus come together in Capricorn, this brings some sort of important news your way. Maybe there is a conversation that feels particularly meaningful, or maybe you are sharing some of your feelings with someone else and telling them how you feel and that you love them or appreciate them. Maybe there is a creative idea or something that you want to take action on. This can give you the inspiration to do so. This is also a lovely time for self-expression of any type, whether you are writing, journaling, podcasting, or connecting with friends. The energy is very social. Maybe you're reconnecting with someone that you haven't seen in a while. Conversations can go a little bit more smoothly. You're also better able to set boundaries effectively. So use this energy as you see fit, but it is one for communicating effectively. Sagittarius, when the Sun and Venus come together in Capricorn, this brings important developments regarding your resources, how you support yourself, and what you invest your time and your energy into. So for some, this could look like developments at work. Maybe there is a raise, a promotion, a new job opportunity. Maybe you're ready to invest in a creative project or start doing work that feels more creatively fulfilling as well. This energy is also great for boosting your own self-esteem and remembering your unique gifts and talents. This can also coincide with important decisions regarding your finances, whether you are reworking your budget or making an important purchase. Capricorn, you are the main character when the Sun and Venus come together in your sign, and this encourages you to take up space, to focus on yourself, to recommit to any personal goals, hobbies that are creatively fulfilling or that give you a sense of childlike wonder or inspiration. This is a moment to choose yourself and to choose what brings you joy and pleasure. This could also look like an important development in key relationships in your life, but it really gives you more magnetism and confidence to go after who and what you desire. Aquarius, when the Sun and Venus come together in Capricorn, this brings attention to your subconscious. Your dreams, your intuition might be more incredibly powerful today. This is definitely a moment where you're going to want to pay attention to the signs and symbols that show up in your waking life and in your dreams. Maybe you have a visitation from a loved one. Maybe you have an intuitive download or a moment where your gut response is just so strong and you know you have to listen to it. This could also coincide with you making important developments on some sort of creative project or hobby or passion project behind the scenes. Maybe you're not ready to share it just yet with everyone, but you are feeling fulfilled and excited about what comes next. This is also an important time to spend some time alone, take some time for yourself and really slow down and recharge. You might also recognize certain habits and patterns that you want to break. And this is helpful energy for changing the way that you speak to yourself and also for setting firm boundaries. Pisces, when the Sun and Venus come together in Capricorn, this brings attention to your hopes and dreams for your future, as well as your friendships, your sense of community and support. Maybe there is a creative idea that you're ready to take action on. Maybe you're sharing some of your ideas with others, or there's a creative collaborative project on the horizon, or a new person shows up who can lend support or believes in your idea and wants to help bring some of your dreams to fruition. This can also look like important developments in your friendships, your community. Perhaps a friendship grows deeper, you meet a new friend, or maybe you're clearing the air and addressing something important that has gone left unsaid, but it ultimately can bring you closer together. As always, I hope your daily horoscope has offered some guidance and support throughout your day. And if you can't get enough of this podcast and want more horoscopes, I invite you to join me over on Patreon, where every Sunday you gain instant access to 7 episodes of your daily horoscope for the week ahead, a weekly psychic reading, a monthly tarot spread, and a monthly meetup, which ranges from group tarot readings to group mediumship readings and circles to ask me anything about your personal birth chart. These group monthly meetups have been a real highlight over the past few months, and I am enjoying them so much. There is a link in the show notes to join. It is only $10 a month, and I hope to see you there. As always, I'm sending you love, protection, and blessings in every single dimension. Thanks so much, and see you tomorrow.